Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly update. I am Matt DeWolf, editor-in-chief of Car Wash Magazine, and your host on this adventure. So let's get into it here just a little bit. I've got lots of stories to share with you, but most importantly, I want to know your story. So if you've got one for us to share, if you want to be featured on this show, make sure you send me your story at mdewolf@carwash.org. All right. Without further ado, let's get right into This Week in Car Wash. We've got the Women's Leadership Experience coming up. That's October 18 through 19. I've been talking about this a little bit the last few weeks, but I want to talk about it a little bit more because I want you all to register and check it out. Let me just show you a couple of things about this, okay? Because I can talk about it for you and tell you about it. Here's the link right here below, right below, right there, carwash.org/WLE. That's the link. Now, maybe you don't have time. Maybe you don't have time to go look at that right now. So here you go. I want to show you what we've got going on here. This is going to be October 18 through 19. Okay, and it's going to be a program for women in this industry with a few key learning outcomes. This is an immersive deal. It's 2 days. A lot of great outcomes here, but there's two I want to focus on. One is understanding how gender and other identities impact leadership development in organization and society. I think that's super important and super helpful for folks to have conversations around. I think the other one is this creation of a personal leadership plan. So I think that's going to be really impactful for folks. There's a schedule on this page. There's all kinds of information. There's the instructor. This is in partnership with Villanova. So you know it's going to be good. Maybe not national championship good for you Villanova fans out there, but you know, you never really know. You never really know. It's going to be good. I hope you guys can check that out, get yourself registered, get the people that you want to promote in your organizations, register for that event to help improve them. Now, moving into some news here, what would it be in a week in car wash if there was not some acquisition and some merger and some development activity? So we've got big kudos to Club Car Wash, which is moving into the kind of the Century Club here. They moved up to 101 locations with their latest news, which is acquisition of 11 Speedy Splash locations. So big news for them. They continue to grow. What else do I have for you? We've got Zips has been expanding as well, like everybody is, but they also just unveiled their newest model in Missouri. And so that's kind of the way that they're going to lay their locations out, the equipment packages they're going to use, everything they're going to do going forward. That's their latest location in Missouri, so you can check that out. And then this one's interesting. All right, so this just came across my desk yesterday. Tire Discounters, the big tire discount chain, they're entering the car wash market. All right, so they acquired Carriage House Car Wash. This is a fascinating move because we've been seeing in this industry a lot of folks coming from like industries like that. So people coming from that tire retail shop kind of section, coming from fast lube, coming from some of these other businesses and industries where consolidation has already kind of happened. And so now you're seeing this tire discounters group coming into the industry. So it's going to be really fascinating to see what they're up to and how they're going to approach their entrance. So we'll keep you informed as we learn more. That's what we've got for that. One last thing for you here on stories and news. In the latest issue of Car Wash Magazine, there's a great little primer on customer journeys. So check that out. Really quick tips on how you can kind of get started making your own customer journeys, which is super important here as we try to continue to differentiate from other washes maybe in our area. I lied. I do have one more thing. There's news announced recently that Google has decided to delay getting rid of its cookies. So those third-party cookies that people kind of rely on for tracking activity and consumer behavior across the internet. Apple's already done some stuff where they've really kind of put the smackdown on third-party cookies and really trying to protect people's privacy, which is great on the one hand. But if you're a retail type organization and you're trying to market to those people, that's really hard, right? Because we can't track them. Well, Google has come out and said, we're going to wait until 2024 to do anything about this. So they're going to continue to make that space available for folks. Facebook has already said that what Apple has done is going to cost them some $10 billion. So this is going to be really fascinating to watch play out, and we'll keep you guys updated with what we know when we know it. And so I think this is going to impact how you all are spending your ad dollars. But we can get into that another time. Now, this is a show all about giving you some key takeaways. We want to give them to you quick. I've got one for you coming up here in just a second. Let me get you up. Let me get you to it here. I want to go to our podcast video. We've got a real quick clip for you from Howard Shore. He was a speaker at the Car Wash Show in Nashville. If you didn't catch him then, we've got a full podcast conversation for you, but here's a quick snip.
So there's a bunch of things that I would think about in this industry so that you don't stop growing. So the first thing is you're ultimately going to have to think about your existing customers today. So a number one reason why companies hit a plateau is their customer base is like a treadmill. So they're constantly turning over customers and they're not doing the amazing job they should for them. And when you don't, you will eventually get a brand in the market that is kind of considered mediocre and you're not going to be the hottest thing anymore. So I would look at those customers first and then not only make sure that you're doing what they really want, but when you do it well, turn them into raving fans.
All right, so nobody wants to be mediocre, that's for sure. So check out that full version of the podcast. It's going to drop here later this week, anywhere you're consuming your podcast content. I've got one last thing for you, friends. I just need you to do one thing for me, and that is subscribe to us, leave a rating wherever you might be consuming this content, and let us know how we're doing. Share your story. That's more than one thing, I know, but share your story with us so we can share your story with the world. And friends, until next week, until we can see each other again, there's just one thing you've got to do when you're out there killing it washing cars, and you know exactly what that is. That is, keep it clean.